So hi everybody and welcome back. This is C++ tutorial series and this is video number 70, and in this video we will learn to write a little plan so that we can use soon the next keyword, which is a if statement, but not right now. In this video we learn how to write a little plan. And what I mean with plan, you can write in different ways plans. You don't have to write it here in code. You can write anywhere else, on paper, on other files, and so on. But here I want to show you something like a plan, which you will see sometimes in codes. They write something like to do or something like that. But instead to do, we write here a little bit what we plan to write in our code, and a little bit more descriptive. So what is that what we want to do? Soon I will start to explain you what an if statement is, but for this if statement I want to introduce a riddle. And what we are learning now is how we plan to write a simple, very simple riddle. And what you have to do is just write comments. Absolute perfect. So we plan with comments. So you can use both. You can use this one, the line comments, which is probably handy, but the other one would work too. So, and then you can say what you want to do first. Let's make it absolute soon. I want create a riddle. So this is my plan. But now we have to specify it a little bit more, because we want to turn these lines later in code, and that's why I think I use the other one. I use this one. So I want to write a riddle. Okay, because later we will here write the code below, but right now not. So next one, let's go here a little bit down. What is the next thing what I want to do? And how I want to write this riddle, and what the player should do, and so on. Now I have to specify all this kind of things, but we make it very simple. I say I want that the player enters their names. Okay, they should enter their names. And then I said next, I want that they guess numbers. And in this case I want guess that the numbers means this is special to my riddle, because I make a riddle with numbers, and as a programmer you can write something like that, so you know that they should later enter numbers, and depends on that you will ask for numbers. That's very important. We learned last time we can ask for numbers or we can ask for tags, and we as a programmer have to differentiate this. In this case I want that they guess numbers. That's very important. And then what I want then, and perhaps one more thing, I want that they guess numbers. We have and then I will print out the result. So not more, that's enough. That is not a big plan, not a very accurate plan, but it is a very simple, fast-made plan without thinking too much. And I just made it up here. I hope it works out. So let's go on. So we created now a very simple plan. So, but here's a problem. How we turn this plan now in a code. And important is here, we will not convert here all, because we need here a if statement later, but some parts we can turn, and this parts we train. Now if you want, you can pause here the game and turn the parts in codes which you think you can handle so far. I will continue, of course, and let's go on. So I want to write a riddle. Can we turn this in a code? You can print out something riddle. Oh, but not really. I want to write a riddle, but you can not really. Let's keep this blank, because if you can't turn it, then let it blank, or you can be creative and think here something, but I let it blank. And then I go on. So I want that the player enters their names. Yes, that we learned, I think, that you should be able to do. And what we learned here. So we learned in the last one, enter the name, how they can enter their names. So we learned something like we need say out. Okay, let's write std, this one for printing out, but I said I want enter their name, so it isn't say out, it is say in, right? And then we learned something this, and then I need a variable, and right now I have not a variable. Okay, let's create a variable here on top, and std string I check if I have the library included. Yes, it is perfect. And here I named the variable name. What is the variable name? And that's very important. There we have to watch again the description. I want that the player enters their names. How I can describe this? There are different ways how you can describe this. I say name player number 1, for example. So this is my first variable name, and probably I will need one more. That's why I just copy this one. Not this here, copy this one, and because I need one more, and I change just to 2. So now I have two variables where I want to store their names. So I want that the player enters their name. So let's go on. But here I have a problem. I have to write which player I want to enter their name. Okay, they should, and let's start with the first player, for example. Then I write here name player number 1. Here I select this one, semicolon. Okay, but this code is not good, because if I start this one, there is something important missing, the description, right? So let me start this and show you. So I can enter here was, but here was no description, because it's very important that we say for the player what he should enter. And let's do this. So this one we missed. That's why we go here a little bit down and say std say out. This time I want print something out, and we learned to say out. Please player number, let's say number, let's write so it number 1, enter your name, something like so. It's not very important. And then we enter this one, and all time when you write this one, you can just check. You don't have to finish write the whole code. Just check this one. Okay, player number, enter your name, go there. And what is your name? This is probably because I have not deleted this one, so this one we don't want. You can kick it out or uncomment it. I kick it out because all what we not need we kick out. And that's a very simple rule, because we want later concentrate only on things what we really need. So let's go on. Let's finish this fast. So I have converted this one. I'm not finished because I said I want that the player enters player, that the players enters their name, not only one. So I have to do it for the next one too. So, and very simple, I can just copy, because this is just the same thing here. Paste here in and change here the variable name, because this time I will go to the second one, this one. But here is one problem, and you will see what. Let's see it. The best thing is to see the problems. I enter here coder, and this. Actually, it was not a problem. I expected a problem. And what would be normally the problem? If you see something like that, normally you would need a new line. But in this case, probably this one was already anyhow had a new line. Anyway, that's not so important. You can check it out. Sometimes it will. Let's test it. We can just test it. What happened if I use this? You know what this is? This is a new line. Escape character. When I do this one, now I have perhaps few new lines, and it jumps to the next line now. Yeah, that I want to not actually. Okay, let's keep this one. Probably here, I thought that I have to select here probably a new line, but it's not. That's perfect. But now this works, right? Now we enter this one. It's perfect. Coder 1, nice. Coder, and what was this? Superman. And now we have no output. So we go on with our riddle, but we have finished this one. This one, if you want, you can write here something too. Let's write here something too. Come, let's write. It's very fast. Instead of this one, as it is here out, let's copy, enter. Of course, you should not. I use all-time copy paste, and many programmers later will use that too, and you will probably use it too. But at start, probably it's good that you write this for training, for type training if you are new in typing and so. But later, many are just copying, pasting. If they are reusing codes like this one, you know, you are going to write the same thing here, then they just mark this, copy this, and enter this one instead of all time typing it again, even they know it's really the same thing. And here is this the case, and but I'm not using this one. Instead, I just replace the text here in the middle and write SS out. This is a riddle. Let's make, yeah, why not? Let's make it some space so it jumps here. It's a riddle. This is a riddle, and it's cool. And then I go here. Indeed, I used this time the escape character because now I know it comes again a C out. Okay, and here we can, let's make a little bit. This is not the perfect formatting. Later we learn other formatting styles, but it will work. And when we Control S for save, go to the back, and now you have info. This is, yeah, it looks not very nice. That was not. Let's get rid of this. You can play with the formatting a little bit, but later you will probably use anyway a graphical program. You see, this is just the console program, and later you have something like a graphical window, and then you have here login or a name place and so on. Let's continue. Yeah, that will work. Coder and Superman are going to each other, and here I had a space. Where is the space? Where's this? Here's no space. Why is there space here? Riddle, and here. Oops. Why have there a space? Let me check this fast. Yeah, that was this one, because I should not make here a space. This is affecting this too. So yes, interesting. Let's go on. We are still planning, and so we have this finished. We have this converted. I think till here you could do all. And here, oh, we can do this one too. And this one we learned also, right? So let's go here a little bit higher so that they should. So I want that they guess numbers. I think that we learned how. So how we can, so what we are going to do here is just, they should enter numbers. That's very important. The only irritating thing for you might be how I can associate this with this here. You don't have to. That's nice, because I will show what I mean with that. So let's write how we getting numbers. I want that they guess numbers. So first of all, I start with, again, I print this fast out, copy this one. You can write it, but I don't want to waste too much time. Player number 1, enter your number, for example, like so, number, and then save this, and then I use again here say in, say in, and then you write, oops, not this one, but here we have a problem again. We need a variable for numbers, and that's very important all time to consider, and that's why I said if it's a number or it is a word, we have create the right variables. In this case, I need numbers. And we learned two kind of numbers, the int and the float till so far. I use just int, these are full numbers, you know, and then I call it. Interesting here, don't it's a primitive type, that's why I don't need this colon here in the middle and so, and I can write just int and it stays for integer, and let's call it number for player number 1. And you see I use here a very long variable name, but I said a very long variable name is better than a short name, because here I read this one time, number for player number 1. Okay, I know what it is. This is the number for player number 1. I have not to think much. When I would name this like int x, something like so, I would later not know, okay, int x is, what was it? No. Make longer variable names, but make it descriptive as possible, that's it. And let's continue, okay, but I know I need for this one too. Let's copy this one again, because we need to copy. Oops, let's copy this whole. Copy this one, paste this one. Perfect, save this one. And we have created two variables. Then these are declarations. I hope you notice we have no assignments. We have not assigned the values, because the values they should enter, right? That's why we go here. And here we learned std_in, and now I just write the number. Here I want it from the player number 1, and that's why this descriptive is nice. Now I can read here variable name, number for player number 1. Perfect, this one here. Number for player number 1. Good. And then I save this one. And the same thing goes here. I know for the player number 2, I make all the same, just change here a little bit. So I can just copy all this one, copy, Control C, Control V to paste. And this one say out player number 2, enter your number, that's okay. And here std_in, but important for number for player number 2. So this one is, oops, what I have here, number for player number 2. Oops, I missed here a step, you see, because I talked too much and I have forgotten to change this one here. Okay, now that's done. So we have 1, 2 and number for player number 2. So, and now we have, I want that they guess numbers. Oh, want that they guess numbers. Yes, they guessed it. And now I have their numbers because I saved this here in this variable. But the last step we can't make here in this plan, because now we need a if statement. And if statements is a checker, a compare statement of conditions, and that we are going to learn in the next video. But this was just a little bit pre-work, how we can change a little plan to code, and later we learn the if statement. One more thing, this one is a plan, but it is not a pseudocode, because we will talk about pseudocode. This one is not a pseudocode. It is just, yeah, let's say a plan written in a very simple plan written in the code. But sometimes they say we use a pseudocode, and that will be a little bit, it's similar to this one, just a comment, but they will also use here code snippets in this comment. This is so the later a little bit the difference, but important is that what we did here, this planning and then writing it, turning it to code. This is very helpful, very nice if you can do this at start. Later in a professional level you will not do it this way. You have then something like really planning softwares and so on outside of this code probably, but this one helps us at start. We can write what we plan, turn it in code, and that's it. And even professionals will just copy plans in code and turn it sometimes also. So this is not wrong. Okay, with that we stop, and next video if statement. See you there. Bye.